Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to get started with Streamlit. So here I already created my Python file. So what you need to prepare is you need Python. So you can download it from the website and install it somewhere on your Windows. And then you need to install it on your environment variable so it's available for CMD. Here I'm going to open the CMD and go to that directory. I recommend you to create a virtual environment for it. So this is how you do it. Right, so now we are building the virtual environment. The virtual environment will be created under venv folder, and then you go to the venv folder /scripts and then activate. Yep, just like that. And then you need to pip install Streamlit to begin with. So Streamlit will be available in this virtual environment. Okay, so the other things that you will need Pandas as well as Seaborn for plots. So to get started, you just do streamlit run and then your Python file. So streamlit demo.py, and then it will automatically open a browser window for you. So now it is still empty, so we just go back here and then we'll type some things to begin with. Import streamlit as st, import pandas as pd. It is very easy to begin with Streamlit because here we are creating essentially a web application without needing to learn HTML and CSS and even JavaScript. So everything is embedded here. Okay, let's begin with this one. Let's put it side to side. So what's good about Streamlit, it will automatically refresh your code if it changes. Let's press always rerun. As we can see here, the styling is already good out of the box, so we don't need to do any CSS styling, and in fact, it's not encouraged to do CSS styling on Streamlit because it is already made standard. So just rely on what Streamlit provides to you. And then essentially, Streamlit is for fast development, not for full customization. So whether you are building a web application or you are building a simple dashboard, you can start with Streamlit. Then here, these are the normal texts. So sort of like the header 1, 2, 3 on HTML. And then we are trying something else. So let's display some interactive components in here. So for this one, we will start with a slider. So let's put this code in it. This is a slider. Here you are allowed to select your age. You save it and then it will appear on your web application. So the parameters there are the title, minimum, maximum, and the default value. You can slide this and then the text will appear here. What essentially happens is, so this st.slider will return the value that you are selecting. And then the age will be kept as the age variable, and then after that execution, it will write it to the web application. So what does it mean? Streamlit is running it from top to bottom. So there is no asynchronous process on Streamlit, so everything is running in sync. So it is both good and bad because every time you do changes on your screen, then it will be loaded again from top to bottom. Unlike a typical JavaScript-based website where you change something and then only that component will be updated. Okay, let's continue on with some other components. Let's show a text input in here. So how do you do this is st.textInput, enter your name, and this is the default value for that. If you don't want it, just delete this part and then yeah, it will be gone. So name will return none if you are not doing anything with the text input. So when you type something, John Doe, press enter to apply, right? So it will essentially show here, enter to apply. So whenever you type something, press enter to apply the changes. And then again, the web application will load it back from top to bottom. But in our case, our application is still very small, so it is very easy to load it from top to bottom. So let's continue with the next component. I'll be showing checkbox here. I'll save it. And then here we are preparing a data frame. So these are the dummy data. And you can actually replace it with something else, like you load some data from database or you load data from CSV. So here show data will return false if you're not ticking the checkbox. So only when you tick the checkbox, the data will appear. Means it will dynamically load this part when you are ticking the checkbox. So let's go on with the next component. So the next one will be select box. So what is this? Is you will have a combo box essentially, and then the options are these ones. So in this case, you are giving it in a set. However, you can also give it in a list like this one. So it will return the same thing. So you selected 3, and this is because the option variable will keep the option that you are selecting. If you're not doing anything with the select box, it will select the first component in the list. So yeah, this is select box, which is combo box on HTML. We will go to the next component, which is button. So what it's essentially doing is it will return true when you click the button. You can also save it as a variable. So for example, you name it as is clicked. If you click the button, then only it will appear button click. Let's go on with the next component, sidebar widget. So it is essentially useful, for example, if you're making messaging application. So it will appear on the left, and then there's no stylings needed. It will automatically have the collapse and expand button as well. So very convenient there. And then this is to show you how you make a color picker. It's already also built in on Streamlit, so very convenient again. So the default color will be this, and then your favorite color will be saved as whatever you are choosing there. Okay, let's move on to one more thing. What I want to show you is previously we have this data frame, right? So there are 3 ways to show data frame. I'm putting a title here. So there is st.write. So previously we already have the data, and then st.dataframe and also st.table, and see how they appear differently on the screen. st.dataframe is essentially the same as st.write, and st.table is for static tables. As we can see here, there is no events attached to the st.table. There's no download button and search button here. If you want to make a static table, you just use the st.table. But if you want something more dynamic, you either use dataframe and write. Write is essentially the same as dataframe. So here we can do the searching, which is directly built in as well. Okay, so this is the video I have for you today. In the next one, we'll talk about how to create plots on Streamlit using Seaborn. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe.